You work hard for your money, but somehow it never seems to last. By the time you cover rent, bills, and daily expenses, there's barely anything left to save. And let's be honest, telling yourself to save more doesn't work when prices keep rising and unexpected expenses pop up. The truth is, saving money on a tight budget isn't about extreme sacrifices, it's about making your money work for you, spending smarter, cutting unnecessary costs, and finding ways to stretch every rupee without feeling deprived. Think about it. What if you could save effortlessly without overthinking every expense? What if small changes in your daily habits could lead to thousands in savings every year? That's exactly what we'll cover in this video. Whether you are living paycheck to paycheck, trying to pay off debt, or just want to build better financial habits, these realistic and practical money saving strategies will help you take control of your finances, even in an expensive world like ours. So, if you are tired of feeling broke and ready to start saving, let's dive in. Understand where your money goes. Before we talk about saving, we need to understand where your money is actually going. Most of us assume we have a rough idea, but when we take a closer look, the reality can be surprising. Have you ever checked your bank balance at the end of the month and wondered where all your money disappeared? It's usually not the big expenses, but the small, frequent ones that drain your budget. The 50 rupees chai at the office, the quick Zomato order when you are too tired to cook, the impulse buy at a mall, or the 200 rupees extra spent on an Uber instead of taking the metro. All of these small amounts add up over time. To get a clear picture, track your expenses for at least a month. You can use a simple notebook or an app like Walnut or MoneyView, which automatically categorizes your spending. When you start tracking, you might be shocked at how much goes towards things that aren't essential. Maybe you are spending 3000 rupees a month on food delivery when cooking at home could cut the cost in half. Or perhaps your online shopping habits are costing you more than you realized. Once you see exactly where your money is going, you'll be able to make more informed decisions about cutting unnecessary expenses. The goal isn't to completely stop spending on things you enjoy, but to be more intentional about it. If you love eating out, maybe limit it to once a week instead of 3 times. Small mindful changes can help you start saving without feeling like you are depriving yourself. Understanding your spending is the first step to take control of your finances. Create a realistic budget. A budget shouldn't feel like a punishment. It's not about restricting yourself to the point where life becomes miserable. It's about giving yourself control over your money instead of letting it control you. The simplest way to start is with the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings. But let's be real. When you are on a tight budget, saving 20% may feel impossible. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Even saving 5% of your income is a step in the right direction. Start by listing your fixed expenses: rent, electricity, internet, transportation, groceries, and any EMIs or debt payments. These are your non negotiable needs. Then, look at your discretionary spending: eating out, subscriptions, shopping, entertainment. This is where most people tend to overspend without realizing it. Instead of completely cutting out the things you enjoy, set a specific spending limit that feels realistic. Maybe instead of 3 Swiggy orders a week, you can cut down to one. Using budgeting apps like Walnut or Good Budget can help you track your spending and categorize expenses automatically. If you prefer a manual method, try the envelope system. Withdraw cash for specific expenses like groceries and entertainment, and once the cash is gone, that's it for the month. A good budget isn't rigid, it evolves as your financial situation changes. If one month is tight, you adjust. If you get a bonus or extra income, you save more. The key is consistency. A budget gives you clarity on your spending and ensures that you are not living paycheck to paycheck. It's the foundation of financial stability, and once you get into the habit, it will feel empowering rather than restrictive. Prioritize needs over wants. One of the biggest challenges of saving money on a tight budget is figuring out what truly counts as a need and what's just a want. It's easy to justify spending money on things that feel necessary at the moment. But when you take a step back, you might realize that many of these expenses are actually discretionary. Needs are essential expenses, things like rent, groceries, utility bills, and transportation. Wants, on the other hand, include eating out, buying new clothes when you already have enough, or upgrading your phone when your current one still works fine. A simple way to start prioritizing is by asking yourself, do I really need this or do I just want it? For example, let's say you are tempted to order a 400 rupees meal from Zomato. If you cooked the same meal at home, it might cost you 100 rupees or less. That's a 300 rupees difference that adds up over time. Similarly, instead of buying a 2000 rupees branded outfit, have you considered exploring thrift stores or local markets where you could find similar styles for a fraction of the price? It's not about completely depriving yourself of fun or enjoyment, but making smarter choices. If you love watching movies, instead of spending 500 rupees on a weekend cinema ticket, why not wait for the movie to come on an OTT platform you are already subscribed to? Instead of going out for coffee multiple times a week, why not invest in a good coffee machine at home? Small shifts in mindset helps you stretch your money further. When you start making conscious spending choices, you'll realize that saving money doesn't have to mean sacrificing happiness. It just means being intentional about where your money goes. Shop for grocery on a budget. Food expenses can quietly drain your budget if you are not careful. With rising prices and the convenience of ordering in, it's easy to spend more than you realize. The key to saving money on groceries is planning ahead and being mindful of what you buy. A well thought out grocery list can prevent impulse purchases, which often make up a significant portion of overspending. One of the best ways to cut costs is by buying in bulk. Wholesale markets like D-Mart, Metro Cash and Carry, or even local Kirana stores often offer better deals when you purchase larger quantities. For example, a 5 kg bag of rice will usually cost less per kg than buying it in smaller packs. Similarly, stocking up on staples like lentils, flour, and cooking oil when they are on discount can save you money in the long run. Choosing local and seasonal produce is another effective way to reduce costs. Imported fruits and vegetables often come with a hefty price tag, whereas seasonal produce is fresher, cheaper, and more nutritious. Instead of buying pre-cut vegetables or packaged snacks, opt for whole foods. Not only are they more affordable, but they are also healthier. Cooking at home is another game changer. Did you know that a home cooked meal in India costs around 60 to 80% less than ordering from a restaurant? Even if you are short on time, meal prepping can help. Cooking in batches and storing meals in the fridge makes it easier to resist the temptation of ordering in. Lastly, avoid shopping when you are hungry. It leads to unnecessary purchases. Stick to the list, compare prices, and be mindful of deals that encourage bulk buying but may not be necessary. Smart grocery shopping can free up a surprising amount of money in your budget. Cut down on utility bills. Utility bills might seem like a fixed expense, but small changes in your daily habits can lead to significant changes. In India, electricity costs vary depending on usage slabs, meaning the more you consume, the higher your per unit rate. That's why simple steps like switching off fans, lights, and appliances when not in use can make a noticeable difference. Switching to LED bulbs instead of traditional incandescent ones can reduce your electricity bill by up to 75%. Similarly, using energy-efficient appliances like inverter ACs, 5-star rated refrigerators, and front-loading washing machines can lead to long-term savings, even if the upfront cost is slightly higher. Another trick is to use heavy appliances like washing machines, geysers, and air conditioners during non-peak hours. Many electricity providers charge lower rates during certain times of the day. When it comes to water bills, small conservation efforts can add up. Using a bucket instead of a shower for bathing, fixing leaks immediately, and reusing RO wastewater for mopping or gardening can reduce your monthly water bill. Many households unknowingly waste thousands of liters of water due to leaks or inefficient usage. Cooking gas or LPG is another area where savings are possible. Keep the flame on medium instead of high. Using pressure cookers and covering pans while cooking can reduce gas consumption. If your area has piped natural gas, switching to it can be cheaper than buying LPG cylinders. Even internet and mobile bills can be optimized. Compare your plans and switch to providers offering better rates. If you have both Wi-Fi and a mobile data plan, consider reducing your mobile data pack and relying more on home Wi-Fi. These small mindful adjustments can lead to noticeable savings in your monthly expenses. Opt for smart transportation choices. With fuel prices constantly rising, transportation costs can take up a significant chunk of your monthly budget. Many people don't realize just how much they spend on commuting until they break it down. If you use your car or bike for daily travel, fuel costs, maintenance, parking, and tolls can add up to thousands of rupees every month. A smarter approach is to explore cost effective alternatives like public transport, carpooling, or cycling. In cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore, public transport options like metro, local trains, and buses are significantly cheaper than using a personal vehicle or booking cabs daily. For example, a metro pass in Delhi costs around 1000 per month, while daily Uber rides for the same distance could cost 10,000 or more. Even auto rickshaws, when used strategically for short distances, can be a budget friendly alternative compared to cabs. If you must use a car or bike, try to carpool with colleagues or neighbors to share fuel costs. Many Indian companies now have carpooling programs to help employees save money on commuting. Ride sharing apps like BlaBlaCar also allow you to share rides with others heading in the same direction. For shorter distances, cycling or walking can save money while keeping you fit. Many cities are developing better cycling infrastructure, making it a practical option. If cycling isn't feasible, using electric scooters or bikes for short trips can significantly cut fuel expenses. Another overlooked area is optimizing your travel schedule. Traveling during non-peak hours can help avoid surge pricing on ride-sharing apps. Even choosing fuel-efficient driving habits like maintaining a steady speed and avoiding sudden braking can improve mileage and reduce fuel costs. Smart transportation choices can make a big difference in your monthly savings. Rethink your rent and living situation. Rent is often the biggest expense in a household budget, especially in metro cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. If your rent is eating up a major portion of your income, it might be time to consider whether you are paying more than necessary. Downsizing to a slightly smaller space, moving to more affordable neighborhood, or even sharing your living space with a flatmate can drastically cut costs. For instance, a 1 BHK apartment in central Bangalore might cost 25,000 per month, whereas moving just 5 to 10 kilometers away to areas like Yelahanka or Kanakapura could reduce rent to 15,000. That's 1,20,000 saved annually. While the commute may be slightly longer, the savings can be redirected towards investments, debt repayment, or building an emergency fund. Flat sharing is another effective way to reduce rent. If you have an extra bedroom, consider getting a roommate to split costs, including rent, electricity, and internet. Many working professionals and students opt for co-living spaces like Stanza Living or Nestaway, which offer fully furnished apartments at lower costs with shared amenities. If moving isn't an option, negotiate with your landlord. Many landlords prefer reliable long-term tenants over the hassle of finding new ones. If you have been renting for a while and paying on time, ask for a small discount when renewing the lease. Offering to pay a few months' rent in advance can sometimes work as a negotiation technique. Lastly, consider whether you are using all the space you are paying for. If not, you could sublet a portion of it. Some tenants rent out a spare room on platforms like Airbnb or to a paying guest to earn extra income. A little flexibility in your living situation can lead to substantial savings. Avoid lifestyle inflation. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to save money even with a decent income is lifestyle inflation, which is spending more as income increases. It's tempting to upgrade to a bigger house, a better car, or the latest phone once you start earning more, but this often leads to financial stress rather than security. Instead of falling into this cycle, the key is to maintain or reduce your lifestyle expenses while directing extra income towards savings, investment, or debt repayment. For example, imagine you get a 10,000 rupees raise. Instead of increasing your spending on dining out, vacations, or gadgets, What if you put that 10,000 rupees into an SIP or systematic investment plan, or maybe a recurring deposit? Over time, this money can grow significantly. Even small amounts saved consistently can compound into substantial wealth. Social pressures also play a huge role in lifestyle inflation. When friends or colleagues start upgrading their lifestyles, it's natural to feel like you should do the same. But financial security isn't about impressing others, it's about making choices that benefit you in the long run. If your current phone works fine, do you really need the latest iPhone? If your car is in good condition, is an EMI for a luxury model worth it? Another way to control lifestyle inflation is by automating your savings. The moment you get a salary hike, increase your savings contribution before you even see the extra amount. This way, you're building wealth without feeling deprived. By being mindful of lifestyle inflation and resisting the urge to overspend, you can ensure that every raise you get actually improves your financial situation rather than just keeping you stuck in an endless cycle of expenses. Find additional income streams. If your budget is tight despite cutting expenses, increasing your income can be a game changer. The good news is that today there are multiple ways to earn extra money without leaving your full-time job. Thanks to the internet, side hustles are more accessible than ever. Freelancing is one of the best ways to earn additional income, especially if you have skills in writing, graphic design, programming, or social media management. Websites like Fiverr, Upwork, and Freelancer allow you to find projects that match your expertise. Even if you're not in a creative field, you can offer services like virtual assistants, resume writing, or data entry. Many Indians earn anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000 per month just from freelancing. Tutoring is another excellent side hustle, particularly if you have strong knowledge in a subject. Websites like Vedantu, Unacademy, and Chegg let you teach students online at flexible hours. Teaching spoken English or coaching students for competitive exams can also be lucrative. Even local in-person tutoring for school subjects can bring in a steady income. Selling products online is another option. If you have a talent for making handmade jewelry, candles, or artwork, platforms like Etsy and Instagram can help you reach buyers. Even reselling clothes or unused household items on OLX or Facebook Marketplace can generate cash. Micro investing can also help you grow your income over time. Apps like Grow and Zerodha allow you to start investing with as little as 100 rupees. Dividend stocks, rental income from property, or even renting out an extra room on Airbnb can provide passive income. By creating multiple income streams, you can ease financial stress, save more, and work toward financial freedom faster. The key is to start small and remain consistent. Say no to debt traps. Credit cards, personal loans, and easy EMIs often feel like a shortcut to financial comfort, but they come at a high cost. In India, credit card interest rates can go as high as 40% annually, and personal loans often charge between 10 to 24% interest. Many people fall into the trap of using credit cards for everyday expenses only to struggle with hefty interest payments later. One of the biggest mistakes is treating credit card like free money. If you're only paying the minimum due on your credit card, you are not actually reducing your debt. You are just delaying it while accumulating more interest. The best strategy is to use credit cards only when necessary and to pay the full bill before the due date to avoid interest charges. If you already have debt, focus on repaying it as quickly as possible. The snowball method, where you pay off the smallest debt first while making minimum payments on larger debts, helps build momentum and motivation. On the other hand, the avalanche method, where you pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first, can save you most money in the long run. Choose whichever works best for your situation. Avoid taking new loans for unnecessary purchases. Flashy consumer goods like the latest smartphone or expensive gadgets might seem tempting, but if you need to take a loan for them, it's better to wait until you can afford them outright. A good alternative to high interest loans is setting up an emergency fund. Even saving 500 to 1000 rupees a month can help you avoid relying on credit for unexpected expenses. Financial freedom comes not just from earning more, but from making smart choices that keep you out of unnecessary debt. Make the most of discounts and cashback offers. In today's digital world, you don't need to pay full price for most things. India has a thriving market for cashback, reward points, and discount offers that can help you save thousands of rupees over time. The key is to use these deals strategically without falling into the trap of buying unnecessary things just because they are on sale. Cashback apps like Cred, Paytm, PhonePe, Google Pay, and Amazon Pay offer cashback on bill payments, recharges, and shopping. Many banks also provide cashback credit cards that refund a percentage of your spending. For example, Amazon Pay ICICI Bank credit card gives 5% cashback on Amazon purchases, and Flipkart Axis Bank credit card offers 5% cashback on Flipkart. If you shop frequently on these platforms, these savings can add up significantly over time. Many grocery stores, pharmacies, and online shopping platforms have loyalty programs that reward repeat customers. For instance, Reliance Smart, Big Bazaar, and D-Mart offer points that can be redeemed for discounts on future purchases. Even Swiggy and Zomato have loyalty subscriptions like Swiggy One and Zomato Gold, which provide free deliveries and extra discounts if you order food frequently. Discount platforms like Nearby and Magic Pin offer massive discounts on dining, spa treatments, and even groceries. If you're planning a meal out or a salon visit, checking these apps first can help you find the best deals. However, the golden rule remains: only buy what you need. A 50% discount on something unnecessary is still a waste of money. Smartly combining cashback discounts and loyalty points can help you maximize savings without compromising your budget. Embrace a minimalist mindset. Owning fewer things not only saves money but also reduces stress. In a world where advertisements constantly tell us to buy more, embracing minimalism can be a powerful way to regain control over your finances. It doesn't mean you have to live with only a handful of items, but rather that you should be intentional about what you buy and keep in your life. Before purchasing something, ask yourself, do I really need this? Will it add value to my life? A great strategy is the 30-day rule. If you want to buy something non-essential, wait for 30 days. If you still feel you need it after that period, then go ahead. More often than not, you'll realize you didn't need it after all. This simple habit can prevent impulse buying and save thousands over time. Minimalism also applies to other areas of spending like fashion. Instead of chasing trends and constantly buying new clothes, invest in versatile, high-quality pieces that can be mixed and matched. A well-planned wardrobe reduces clutter and unnecessary spending. The same approach can be applied to gadgets, home decor, and even groceries. Buy what you truly need, not what marketing convinces you to buy. Additionally, decluttering can help you make extra money. Selling unused items on OLX, Facebook Marketplace, or Cashify can bring in cash while freeing up space in your home. Many people hold on to things just in case, but in reality, they rarely use them. Embracing a minimalist mindset doesn't mean depriving yourself. It means making more conscious spending choices. When you stop buying things on impulse, you'll find that you have more money for meaningful experiences and financial security. Learn to say no. One of the biggest challenges when trying to save money is handling social pressure. Whether it's an expensive dinner with friends, a colleague's destination wedding, or the latest fashion trend, society often pushes us to spend beyond our means. Learning to say no to expenses that don't align with your financial goals is a skill that will save you thousands in the long run. In India, social spending is deeply ingrained in our culture. From grand weddings to birthday parties, people often feel obligated to spend money to maintain their social image. But here's the reality. True friendships and relationships aren't defined by how much money you spend. If your friends pressure you to join them at a fancy restaurant when your budget is tight, suggest a more affordable alternative like a home-cooked meal or a simple chai meetup. Saying no doesn't mean you have to miss out on social events altogether. It means setting boundaries. If a friend is hosting a wedding in another city and the cost of travel and gifts is beyond your budget, it's okay to politely decline or contribute in a way that fits your finances. You can send a heartfelt gift within your budget rather than stretching yourself too thin. A great way to handle peer pressure is by being honest. If someone asks why you are skipping an expensive outing, say something simple like, "I'm focusing on my savings right now," or "I'll have other financial commitments this month." True friends will respect your choices. Financial independence starts with making conscious decisions, and that includes learning to say no when necessary. Every rupee saved from unnecessary expenses can go towards your long-term financial security. Invest even when you have a low income. Many people believe that investing is only for the wealthy, but that's far from the truth. Even if you are on a tight budget, starting small can make a significant difference over time. The key is consistency and patience. One of the easiest ways to start investing in India is through systematic investment plans or SIPs. You can begin with as little as 500 rupees per month, which is often less than what we spend on a weekend meal. The power of compounding ensures that even small investments can grow significantly over time. For instance, if you invest 1000 rupees per month in an equity mutual fund with an average annual return of 12%, you could accumulate over 35 lakhs in 30 years. If mutual funds feel risky, Public Provident Fund and Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana for those with daughters offer safe long-term investment options with tax benefits. PPF has a lock-in period but provides guaranteed returns and tax-free maturity benefits, making it a great choice for secure savings. For those interested in stocks but hesitant due to market fluctuations, index funds like Nifty 50 or Sensex-based funds offer diversified exposure with lower risk than investing in individual stocks. You don't need to be a financial expert. Just start with small automated monthly contributions. Another overlooked option is recurring deposits with banks and post offices. If you are new to investing and want risk-free returns, recurring deposits allow you to save systematically while earning interest. The biggest mistake is waiting for the right time to invest. Start with whatever amount you can afford. Stay consistent and let time work its magic. Your future self will thank you for it. Build an emergency fund. Unexpected expenses can completely derail a tight budget. A medical emergency, a sudden job loss, or an urgent home repair can force you to take on debt if you don't have savings set aside. That's why building an emergency fund, even if you start with just 5,000 rupees, can provide a crucial financial safety net and prevent stress during difficult times. In India, many people rely on personal loans, credit cards, or borrowing from family when faced with emergencies. But these solutions come with drawbacks. Loans and credit cards carry high interest rates, and borrowing from family can strain relationships. Instead, having your own emergency fund gives you financial independence and peace of mind. A good rule of thumb is to aim for 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. However, if that seems overwhelming, start small. Even saving 500 to 1000 rupees per month can add up over time. To make it easier, set up an auto transfer to a separate savings account so you are not tempted to spend it. Where should you keep your emergency fund? A high interest rate savings account, a fixed deposit with liquidity options, or a liquid mutual fund are all great choices. Avoid keeping it in stocks or long-term investments as you need quick access to the funds when required. Think of your emergency fund as a financial insurance policy. It's there to protect you from life's uncertainties. The key is to start no matter how small. Over time, as your financial situation improves, you can increase your contributions. Having an emergency fund means you won't have to worry about unexpected expenses throwing your entire budget off track. Saving money isn't about restricting yourself. It's about gaining control over your finances so you can spend on the things that truly matter. Whether it's building an emergency fund, investing on your future, or simply avoiding end-of-month panic, every rupee you save brings you closer to financial stability and freedom. The best part, you don't need to make drastic changes overnight. Start small. Cut back on a few unnecessary expenses. Track your spending and use discounts wisely. Over time, these small habits will turn into a strong financial foundation. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these tips are you already using? And what's the biggest money-saving challenge you face? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep growing.